Literally in a field.
Literally. While in his field.
He's just a punny kind of guy, you know?
He's... Alright, let me go grab water and then I'm gonna go run on the treadmill for 3 minutes.
Uh-oh, treadmill time.
I got told to go on the treadmill.
Do your exercises, lady. 'Tis only way to stay smexy.
Feels that way. I am seriously down weight though.
Congrats.
I was tapping at like very close to 180 and I was like, no, this is unacceptable for me. Cause I've been 100 pounds flat itty bitty thing forever.
Yeah, well, age makes being able to eat whatever the fuck you want and not caring not be a thing anymore. Just FYI. In case you didn't know. I found where all the baby trees were hiding. I should probably get some rocks. I'm gonna switch to rocks.
Just doing this to make it easier. Alright. Now I can be heard by all while I am on the treadmill. Yeah, so I was like, you know, peaking near 180. And today I am 151 with my headphones on.
Wow.
And that's been like steadily going down since like, I want to say like September? Really? Is when it started coming off? Because Haunt really puts me in shape, whether I want it or not.
I mean, yeah.
The only downside, like, we got a free treadmill, so, like, I know it's free. I shouldn't be complaining. But this thing feels so odd. And maybe I just have to do it at an incline to, like, get that to stop hurting. But it was hurting on my hips, and this thing, if I go at a fast speed, it sounds like people having fun in a bed.
Yeah, you get squeaky when you get older. I'm sorry you're learning this the hard way, but it is still the truth.
Also, seeing a gym that says iPod compatible makes me feel kind of dated.
Fair. When was the last time the iPod was a thing? Like, let's be real.
I still have my iPod Nano.
I did not decide to go to Apple products, so I do not own Apple products.
My grandparents had, I think it was the Gen 2 iPod. So when he upgraded his stuff, he gave me his old iPod. So, like, giving a 13-year-old 10 gigabytes of music data was insane back then.
Back then, yeah. Not anymore. Anything less than a terabyte and people are like, what is this junk? You know?
And I remember when the standard size for formatting was like, not even a gig for your whole phone.
I know. And now, wild.
I will say, there was one piece of technology we had in the early 90s that I love the hell out of. It was this kind of board that you, like, plug into your TV, and then it turns your TV into a drawing board.
Yeah, those are cool. Not that I'm an artist, so, like, they're not cool for me specifically, but, like, they're still cool.
They can be fun, even if there is no such thing as you can't be arty. There will be something.
Oh, I have my words just left my brain. Rebooting. One moment, please. Okay, let's try that again. My art is in words. some of the time. Clearly not when my brain is rebooting. But essentially, I prefer the written word, and I'm not a writer either, so it's mostly like world building is kind of my bag.
Frankly, I'll still probably come back to you for ideas, because I'll be honest, I feel like my stories are too shallow.
I mean, adding depth is not necessarily about vocabulary so much as it is about expressing, how shall we say, intent in a way that feels realistic or real.
It's more like world building itself and creating realistic situations that come off overly cliche.
I mean, the world is a overly cliched, realistic situation. Just FYI, like that's just the real world. Where do you think we get the cliches from? But there's
Who's living in those worlds? Okay, it's like when you see the Hallmark commercial ads. Those people aren't real.
no, they are definitely not real. But the nostalgia for a thing that doesn't exist is actually a real effect. So, as much as the Hallmark commercials are absolutely bullshit and not anyone's or very few people's real, like, like real experience, they do evoke emotion, which is exactly what the commercial is trying to do, and they do that very well, I might add. But yeah, there is a term for the nostalgia of something that does not exist. It's not an English word, though, of course. Why would it be in English? But it is a real effect, and it's trying to evoke that emotion in you to make you more susceptible to their product, essentially.
Okay. I definitely feel like I've been homesick for places I've not been.
Yeah. So, like, every time you see a gorgeous, like, photo somewhere, even in a magazine of, say, France, and you're like, oh, that would be so beautiful to be in right now. Like, that is exactly the emotion they're trying to evoke for you, and in the hopes that you will buy a Hallmark card or watch a Hallmark movie. That's literally what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with the realism of the situation.
Have you seen somebody fed Hallmark movies to a bot and had them write a script?
Yes. Ridiculousness. Absolute ridiculousness. And unfortunately, the thing that came out of said script was very much a Hallmark movie. Like, it works.
Santa turns an elf into a person to be your boyfriend for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so don't knock it till you try it. But, like, world building and things, it's actually not that difficult. It's just a matter of, like, figuring out your audience and what you're trying to evoke. And again, it doesn't come down to vocabulary. You don't have to have, like, an expansive vocabulary to do world building. You just have to have, like, a solid idea of how the world should work, even if it's not real.
So, like, example, mainly what I'm talking about is, like, I've been trying to do the basically Baldur's Gate D&D themed Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And currently, like, first I realized, I don't have to use tile sets. I could just draw this all myself if I really wanted to, because that cute little cozy cat game I got shown was used on the same engine I'm working with.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have to be in realism art style. It can be in any art style. It's fine.
But so, like, I guess minor world building details that might be overlooked, such as currency, such as, am I going to be implementing any kind of, like, financial tensions in the universe or not?
Well, if you're trying to do a D&D based Stardew, most of that world building's already been built for you. It just really depends on which version of the D&D canon you want to base it off of. Because, like, things are slightly different in the Sword Coast and in Faerun than it is in, like, Greyhawk.
But I'm pretty sure all those places had permission, so I can't do an overt D&D thing.
But if you just want to do like a
Your permission.
generic fantasy world-esque thing, you know, I would suggest looking at games that do essentially Risk, and then just messing around with the names of things, because that's what it comes down to. Most like if you're going for like a European style, most of the European countries before the Euro happened named their money after their country. So the francs, France, you know, lira from Italy, because of a particular area of Italy that the money started coming out of when they became a country, but like it's a historical thing. But like they named a lot of their country. So like if you're just trying to do like a Stardew Valley thing, name the country that the valley is in, and base your currency names off of that.
Okay, because like the other thing was I kind of I got a D&D cookbook. So half of my brain is like, well, I'm gonna be honest, my favorite thing is extended recipes in any game.
Mm-hmm. You like your crafting systems.
I do. And the crazy thing is, the menu the menu for the showing all the different, like, here's human cuisines, elven cuisine kind of thing.
Yeah.
That also has the cost of it next to it regarding, like, you know, the gold point type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Zeki, are you gonna let me?
Do.
That's enough.
All right. But yeah, like it's
Hey, okay, Zeki gave me the key.
Congrats, you found Zeki.
Turns out you don't have to wait for him to go downstairs. You just have to get the key from him, and then you can go into his.
Oh.